this computer. Here we go. Okay, now let me play it in F because I want you guys to hear the difference. So you just heard it in D. Now I'm going to play it in F. And then you got to go into something else. But you hear the difference in the two keys, eh? Is quite a big difference, and I love the F. I got to say, I have to I prefer the F like Paul does. But that's also because I don't play an F a huge amount, and I love the key. It's a beautiful key, and I don't get to play it that much. So, nice once in a while to come across something that's in that key. But we'll have to learn it. So at the we'll do the D version, but first let's warm up and practice some other stuff. What was the last thing we learned? Can somebody remind me? A jig? Which one? A nice one?
The last one I remember us working on Big John McNeil.
Oh yeah, we were working on John McNeil. Actually, that's a great warm up for the early of Dalhousie because lots of C sharps on the G string. That's what we got to do in the Earl. So why don't we warm up with an A major, nice beautiful A major scale, a couple of them, and then we'll practice Big John. We'll just go slow, and we'll start working it up. Okay, excellent. Jennifer's doing the Canadian Women's Brass Conference at U of T today. She's been gone all day, and that goes until Monday. She's quite heavily involved in it too. She's doing a lot of organization and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. And then it's good because it gets her ready to go over to Japan in May for the International Women's Brass Conference, and she's performing and everything. So that's pretty cool. I bought her a suitcase for Christmas, a brand new one. It's because of all these trips she's taken, and it's pretty clever because it's a carry-on size. It's the biggest carry-on size that they allow on most airlines, so she doesn't have to check a bag for this stuff, which is great. Anyway, okay, so we're warming up A major. I'm going to make sure I'm in tune. There we go. Okay, A major. Here we go. There's your low A. Okay, here we go. Ready? Slow. arpeggio was not absolutely perfect, but not bad. How about you guys? How you feeling? Not too bad? We better do it again. Let's just do it again right away. Okay, ready, go. That's better. How are you guys feeling? Good? Let's pick up the pace. Do it one more time. A little bit faster. Ready, 2, 3, go. Okay, who suffered? I suffered a tiny bit. My C sharp and my, I think it was the G sharp, something like that. How about anybody else suffer? Yeah? A little bit? Let's do it again. Grab the ones you didn't grab. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, I suffered very little. I had one, it was F sharp on the D string actually, but just for a second. As Brian Tahady would say, it only sucked for a second. You guys feeling better? A major's okay? Okay, let's get him out, Big John. And we are going to start running it. Such a good practicing tune. Have to when we get better at Big John, we'll have to take a look at Trip to Windsor by Dan R. McDonald, or Cape Breton Fiddler's Welcome to Shetland by Willie Hunter. Another one. These are all ones in the key of A that could use the whole fiddle and go down to the bottom part of the fiddle, and they're great tunes. Really, I'll just play you one while you're looking for Big John. Now, this is the Trip to Windsor by Dan R. McDonald. Trip to Windsor. Wicked tune. Just a kicking tune. Great at a dance. And like I said, like although it sounds hard, and there are aspects of it that are hard. Like you have to learn how to hold down your first finger. If you look at my hand close, there you go. See that? My finger just stays there, and it's on 2 strings for that whole time. So I can get the E, I can get the A just by leaning, and the other ones I just kind of slap them. See that? So, and it's a good, but that is an extremely good technique to get in the key of A. It's very important. You have to do it all the time. The other one, the Willie Hunter one. See that? So similar. Although it sounds hard, and there's a few techniques you got to get, it doesn't use any of the notes that we didn't just practice really, really well for the last 10 minutes. See what I mean? It's just the order of operation and the few little tricks you have to use to get it to work. So anyway, okay. Everybody find your Big John? Here we go. All right. Okay, now let's see about speed. How doable is that, do you think? Do you think we can try to do it like that? Or is it too fast?
Can we go a bit slower on the first round?
Got it. You got it. Let's go at a very snail. Actually, let's go backwards. Turn the light out here. Okay, Big John McNeil, backward speed. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, go. Right down to the bottom. Do it again. Beeper. All right. Slow Big John. How did you get along? Did you manage all the notes? Yeah? That's good. That's great. Excellent. Yes.
I have a question about one particular note, and it's circled here, so there must be something with it. It's in the very last line. Um, it's the first bar after the number 1,
Yeah.
and it's E3, E2, E3, E2. But
Hmm.
the third note there is circled, and you played something other than an E3, I think. What's
Yeah,
the piece?
it's a different. It's another version. There's a lot of different versions of this tune, especially the ending, and I'll show you what that means. So what I do, what I normally do, and the way I got the tune is it's a straight scale down for those first 4 notes to E, and then
Um,
you do another scale down starting on F.
okay. Okay, cool.
It's already there.
Yeah.
And that is a very common way you're going to run into this tune. Like 9 times out of 10, people play that ending that way. I have heard this way. I have heard that, but not near as much as the straight scale down.
Okay. Thank you.
Question. Good ears. Anybody else have any bits or pieces that are confusing or anything like that? Yes.
Dan, in the third line, the last 2 bars, in one of our older classes, in the recording, twice out of the 3 times we all played it together, you sounded different.
Okay, so the
And then
third line.
the third line, the
Yeah.
last 2 bars. Da, da, da,
Oh yeah,
da.
yeah, you're right.
So-
Same thing.
So
That's what's written there in arpeggio. But the more common way to do it again is, see that?
okay.
So basically all it does is change the last, if you look at the third line, second last bar, the C and the E, the last 2 notes should be a D and a C. That's all that is. And again, that's the more common
Okay.
way to hear it. If you were out
Thank
in a
you.
session, you most definitely hear it like that first. But like I said, I have heard this way too. And I love the way that it's written out. Like in this particular version is really good. And I even like all the little notes that I can't remember who I got it from. It was I think it was one of the orchestra members, but I like how she's got arpeggios written under where the beginning, because that is arpeggios, and then scale where there's a scale. That's great.
That's our friend Peter.
Is that Peter? There you go. See, there you go. He would do something like that. So yeah, okay, those are good questions. Anybody else have any weird things where I'm making their life difficult when it doesn't have to be? Okay, let's try it again. Now let's see. Think we can do that? Let's give it a try. We'll just give it a try. Nothing bad can happen, really. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, go. Now that looked like it was going along pretty good. How did everybody get along with that round? Better? Cool. That's great. Now give your arm a little rest, whichever arm bothers you. I was talking to my friend Steve Peckford today, who I play music with sometimes. He's a Newfoundlander, but more importantly, he's the service manager at the Toyota dealership right up the street. So when I needed to get my snow tires on, I texted him and I was like, "Hey Steve, can I sneak my car in? Because they're really busy." And he was like, "Yep, bring her up." So I got my servicing done, but I noticed he had a bandage on his hand. He had carpal tunnel surgery. I know. And I said, and he said he had the other hand done a few years ago. And I said, like, I've heard that surgery can go really, can get botched. And he was like, "I highly recommend it. If you ever have a chance to spend a month not playing, get the carpal tunnel thing done, because they free up the nerves or something like that." And he said it's never been better since he did that, which is interesting. I would never let somebody cut open my hand. I don't think I could live with that. Like anything could go wrong, and then you're totally screwed. Fun is over. Jeez. Anyway, shall we try a little faster? Okay, helmets on, guns up, shoot the Germans that you can shoot. Don't stop shooting. So let's see. Okay, let's do it. I have confidence. 1, 2, 3, go! One more time. All right. Any dings on the helmet? Yeah. Oh, well, that's what it's for. So that, just to let you know, that was the fastest that we've tried that tune. And it was Dum 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 ding dum 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 ding dum ding ding dum around 50. Okay, around 50 is what we tried that at. So if that was kind of your top tempo, keep that in mind. Make sure you're practicing it slower than 50, um, and we'll see if we can get it a little bit more comfortable. When you're doing it fast like that, you have to make sure that it's not just tension getting in your way when you're going fast. Because the tendency when the tempo goes up is to grip on the fiddle a little bit, press a little harder, and it really kind of slows you down, right? It slows down the left hand. Like you can see, like when I just do this free, it's really, really fast. As soon as I tense just maybe my thumb, look how much stiffer that is. And all I did was tense my thumb there. Okay, you can try it yourself. Like when everything's relaxed, she goes lickety split, no problem. And then as soon as I introduce any amount of tension in my hand, you can feel it just stiffen right up. Everybody feel that? So yeah, loose is the key. That's what you got to try to stay loose. That's one thing that could be getting in your way. The other thing is bowing. Now I didn't see anybody having any problems with bowing, like going the wrong direction. Anybody having any problems with bowing? Is the bow getting in your way when we go fast? Or have you got your ups pretty well in there? Yeah. Bouncing bow? Okay.
It always, well, not always, but always bounces around when we're doing, where is it? E3, A2, E3, A1. Boing, 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 boing. It bounces all
Where are
over
you
the
doing?
place.
Where are you in the bow when you're doing that?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
flat.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I noticed that to both attempts you did there, you were doing it kind of in the middle. And the middle of the bow is the bounciest part. See that? Because it's where it bottoms out. Also, though, you got the length on both sides of the bow kind of heaving it around. The best place to do that part there is the upper half of the bow. See that easy, quick, little tiny move, no bounce. Does that help? Now the thing is that you got to try to get down there. So when you're coming up on that part, you got to try to, and I do that all the time. I was noticing it on the session on Tuesday. There was a few times there where I was actively trying to get to the end of my bow for something I was trying to pull off, and I knew I would need to get right down to the end. So I take advantage of little spots. So see that? And then I'm in the right part of the bow. So I take that long note before it, and get right down there. And then when I do my up, I make sure it's not too big. See that? Just like that. So you just got to try to stay up in that end of the bow. It's generally a good place to be anyway. Okay? That's a really good point. Any other bits or pieces like that bothering people that they need me to talk about endlessly? No, me and Brian are doing the podcast tomorrow. You'll have to play the fiddle. It's gonna be great. We decided we're gonna talk about our fiddles. So I'm gonna have my German and my dad's fiddle. He's gonna have his Haida. He's got a J Haida fiddle, which is a guy from BC, and he's quite a well-known maker. They're beautiful fiddles. They're very well known by fiddle players rather than violinists. They're still violins, but this guy is well known for making violins for fiddle players, and that's what Brian has. But he also has his father's fiddle that Leon plays. So he's going to pick that up, and we're going to take a look at our fiddles and our father's fiddles, and talk about them a little bit. I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about my father's fiddle, how it came to Cape Breton, but it was looted in World War II by a Cape Breton Highlander soldier in France. And apparently he smashed the window and took the fiddle and rolled it up in a blanket and carried it with him the whole time, and then took it back to Cape Breton on the boat and sold it, because a lot of those soldiers, when they did that looting, it was just so they could get rich when they got back to home. And so he sold it to the guy who sold fiddles in North Sydney, who also happened to have the lumber yard. And Dad bought it at the age of 17. And I was thinking about fiddles because I helped a student buy a fiddle the other day. There was 5 of them there, and I helped her narrow it down to 2, and then eventually 1. It was a Czechoslovakian one that she chose. Very, very good fiddle. And me and Andreas, the guy at Heinel, we were talking about how I heard James Ennis from the National Arts Center Orchestra on the radio, and he plays like a $10 million Guarneri from 1720 or something like that. It's not even owned by him. It's owned by the Canada Arts Council. And he was saying that you don't really own these things because the lifespan of a fiddle is 500-600 years. So your period of playing it is relatively short in the fiddle's lifespan. So he was saying it's more like you rent these things. It's more like you pay for the opportunity to look after them for the next person. Which is really true. And I often think about that fiddle in France, sitting in the window of that shop, suddenly grabbed by a Cape Bretoner. The fiddle's life changed drastically that day. No more classical music was played on it. Only Scottish music on this poor French fiddle. Who didn't even have a choice about the matter. Okay, Earl of Dalhousie. First thing I'll do is take a quick picture. Oh no, we're gonna do the D. We're gonna do the D version. So I'm just gonna send you guys this version of it here that I found. It's the same. Yeah, it's just right here. Save it. Okay, and then I'll just send it to everybody. Okay, Earl of Dalhousie. Okay, I just sent that off. And I'm going to play it while you're retrieving it from the email and looking at it. I'm going to play it a couple times here so that it will get on the recording. I better open it up in the PDF. Earl. Okay. It's a great tune. Glad we're doing it. It's not hard. I don't think anybody will have a huge problem with it. Let's see here. Okay. to go into another tune. I think you're supposed to end on the A part. I think. What does this say? Yeah, it doesn't really say. I think it just has B A part and B part, but or first ending, second ending. But anyway, so it's screaming to go into another tune, which maybe we'll do. But it really is not that hard. We played all the notes before in other tunes, and it's a very well-known tune as well. Now let me play it a little bit slower, and we'll just kind of take the phrases, but let me play it a little bit slower for you. So that's the A part. Very straightforward. And I love the quarter notes. So in the first couple of bars, it just basically kind of scales with a big long D. That's kind of the first phrase there. See that? Very simple idea. Long D, then an E, scale down, and that's a short sandwich, that particular rhythm there. And then 4 big quarter notes, C, E, A, C. That's the main idea of the tune. So let's see if we can do that.
Dan, I didn't get the music at all. Can you
Yep.
share it or whatever?
Yep. Dum dum dee day dee day. Oh, it's because I used your wrong address. I don't know why I still have a Kojiko address for you, Elaine. It's some once in a while crops up. There you go. Should have her now. Okay, where's my tune? Here it is. Okay, so again, first 2 bars. I'm going to play them, and then we're going to give it a try. So it's the big long D. Oh, I was talking about the rhythm. So this is a Straspe or a march. So we have these dotted rhythms. This first rhythm here is a short sandwich. So long, short, short, long. That's what we're looking at there. And we see that a lot in this tune. The other thing that we see in this tune is the regular long, short, long, short, long, short. If you look at the first bar and the second line, that's all long shorts there. Okay, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. You have a couple of little changes, but that's the main underlying. If you look at, for instance, the last line, it's long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, and then it's short sandwich, short sandwich. So dum da 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 da. That's the idea, the general idea of the rhythm. Long shorts is that's hilarious, eh? Long shorts. Are those like the Bermuda shorts? They would be long shorts, right? Or capri pants, I guess. Let's see if we can get this first bar. I'll play it again. Let's see if we can do that, everybody. Starts with a great big long D. 1, 2, 3, go. Now that looked like it worked wonderfully. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, not bad. Let's do it again. Ready, go. Okay, are we getting that? It's not too hard, eh? Great phrase. Okay, now the next phrase did exactly the same start. Now and then a great big long high D. Okay, and then we got these arpeggiations. So let's try now the second phrase, which is bar 3 and bar 4. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's do it again. Very good. Ready? Go. One more time. Ready? Okay, so now let's see if we can put this together. So we're going to try the first 4 bars. Big long D. 1, 2, 3, go. Did that work? Oh, look great. Let's do it again. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, good, good, good. Now, the next part there, it sounds hard, but it's not really that hard. It's just B, G, B. A lot like when we do our arpeggio. And then A, F, A. Okay, very, very simple. Let's try that together. Just that bar. Long B and then G, B. Ready? Go. Okay, let's do one more of those. Ready? Go. Okay, good. And then we do this big scale. And you see how it goes, eventually, it goes all the way up to D. So it scales down from G to the low C, back up to G, and then down from G just to the D, and then all the way back up to D. You see that? It's all a scale, all of the notes in between. And then you're back up at D. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's give it a try. Okay, so we're doing now the second line, the first 2 bars. First 3 bars. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's do it again. That look good. Ready? 2, 3, D3. Okay, one more. Ready, go. Okay, cool. Now, let's see if we can now get the whole A part with the first ending. The second ending is very similar to the first ending. It's just got like 3 notes, 4 notes different. So we'll get that. But let's see if we can get right from one end of the A part to the other, nice and slow. Although he's happily returning to Scotland, it's going to take him a while. Okay, nice and easy. Great big long D. 1, 2, 3, go. Again. Cool. That looks like it's working. Everybody getting through that okay? Good. So now let's take a look at the second ending. It is slightly different. There are basically 4 notes. So it goes down the scale from G, and then it goes over to A, back to D, C sharp, E, D. So okay, with the short sandwich at the end there. So let's just give that a little try, and then we're going to go through both times. So we're going to try now ending number 2, second line. Slow as hell. 1, 2, 3, go. Do it again. One more time. Yep, that's it. That's okay. So let's do it. Let's go both times through the A part. The first time, the first ending. The second time, the second ending. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Repeat. Yep. Did it work? Kinda. Let's go a little slower. I felt like I went a bit quick there. One more time. 1, 2, 3, slow. Repeat. Yeah? Cool. Okay. Now, just before we do the B part, you guys can practice that for a little second while I make sure Sylvie has had her bath. And that I haven't heard the piano yet, so she has to practice piano. So give me 1 second while I go yell at her and scream at her and be a terrible parent. Hey, Sal, how's your bath? Good. You gonna practice piano when you get out? We're gonna practice piano when you get out? Yay! I love getting the piano. Joe, you gonna take a shower, buddy? You do your run yet? Good man. That's good. Didn't have to scream at anybody. Everybody's doing great. Okay. B part. Now this one, the B part, it doesn't have as much repetition. It's not as predictable, that's for sure. That's probably going to be the toughest thing about it. So let me play the B part. And that's why you see how there's no repeats in the B part. It's got no repeats, it's got no first and second endings, because it doesn't have that same level of repetition to lean on. So they just write the whole thing out. Okay, so I'm just going to play it. See if you can start getting it in your head, because like I said, it's not as predictable. That little lick there is a surprise. You see that? It kind of zigs when you think it's going to zag a couple of times in those runs. So we'll take her line by line. It's the best thing to do. Now, I love the opening phrase of it, though. It's very strident. I love that. What a lick. So again, it's a long D. It's the upper D, the middle D, I guess you call it. And then an F. And they're both long. So play them with confidence. And then we scale. Okay, let's give it a shot. Third line, first two bars. A 1, 2, 3, do. Okay, let's try that again. One more time. Ready, 2, 3, go. Now you can see the next two bars are basically an expansion of the first two bars. Same long D, same F, but you go right down the scale from it. Okay, so let's try that now. This is the second two bars of the third line. 1, 2, 3, long D. Do it again. One more. Okay, so now let's see if we can put that whole line together. So the whole third line. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, let's do that one more time. It's an important one. Ready, go. Okay, very good, very good. Now let's see about this here. Yeah, that's a squirrely. I think we should take this fourth line, I think we should do the whole line because it really doesn't resolve there. So if you heard the whole phrase, it would sound like this. That makes more sense to the ear. So a little bit of more of a bite to chew, but I think it'll be worth it. So let's try this fourth line. D to D. Okay? Fourth line. 1, 2, 3, slow. Okay, you see, it's pretty straightforward. You do it like that. Let's do it again. Fourth line. Ready, 2, 3, go. working pretty good. Let's do one more though, just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, now we got this here. What is this? The fifth line. Now it starts, looks like it starts the same way, but it's actually quite different. So we got the D to the D, and then go up to F. Oh, that is exactly the same. So we already have that. You know what it is? It's basically, it's the third line, but it has 2 Ds instead of a long D. That's all it is. And then we got the last line. I find that one's the hardest to catch on to. So I'm going to play it. This is the very, very last line. So. Now you see how we have another trick like we had in the first ending of the A part. It's basically the same as that. So let's see if we can play this last line that meanders everywhere. Down the scale, up the scale, back down the scale, and then a little jog, and then down the scale, up the scale, and then you're done. So we're starting on high D. Ready, 2, 3, and. Okay, you see how that works? Let's do it again. Same thing. Ready, go. Okay, one more time with that. Getting used to it. Ready, go. Looking like it's working for everybody there. Any problems? We have come to the end of the tune. Are there any difficulties or unpleasantnesses you'd like to discuss? It's pretty straightforward, eh?
Just getting used to the rhythm, Dan. It's very unfamiliar.
Yeah, and like I said, just kind of gravitate towards the long short, because that's the predominant, the prevailing rhythm in this tune. Is long, short, long, short, long, short. So when in doubt, just do that. Stick in a couple of short sandwiches, eat your Scotch egg, and you're good to go. Okay? Now let's try this whole B part now. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, slow. Not much of an ending, I gotta say, but now, how did that work? Was it okay? You get from one end to the other? Yeah, Estrid?
I'm looking at the thirds, like the triplets rather, at the end of line 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And 5 actually. How do you sort out your bow?
I slur them in an up bow.
All of them are in ups. Okay.
They should be on an up bow. Let me just make sure. You know what? And even if it's not on and up, I make it on and up. That's what I just did there. So like this. See that?
Okay, so you're coming down on the next bar. Okay. So on the half notes, so you would play down on the,
They seem to be landing down, and they're certainly on the down beat. So they
Okay.
probably would be going down.
okay, and so when you start on your up bow, you would start on the triplet?
No, I would start on the A that comes before the triplet.
I see.
And I would stop
Okay.
my bow. So
Oh, you stop your bow even. Okay. All
and
right.
that's a really good move to practice. The stopping your bow is really good to practice, first of all. Second of all, that kind of that continuation of the pickup in the same bow, very common. I do that a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
try this B part again. Very good question, Astrid. That's going to probably straighten out bowing for people. Okay. The whole B part. 1, 2, 3, long D. Looked like it worked. Okay, roll out the shoulders. Take a breather. We're going to do the whole thing. Okay, here we go. From the top. 1, 2, 3, slow. you need to do some little trick there. Okay, how's everybody getting along with the Earl of Dalhousie's happy return to Scotland? Is he getting there? Is he reasonably happy? I mean, not Prozac happy, you know, just moderately happy, just like doing okay. Like it's not, life is not that bad, you know. I am an earl, I guess. It's pretty good. I have servants and stuff. Lots of pressure though, and your English, which is always, you know, can be a curse, I think. Anyway, let's try it one more time before we're done. Maybe a tiny bit faster because this is they call this like a marching air. Yeah, marching air. That's what they call it. So you don't do it fast, but you don't want to do it too slow either. Like I'm thinking of the other marching airs that I play, like Killicranky. You don't want to play it at a plod, even though it's an air. You do want to have a little bit of a rhythm to it. So let's try it like this. Let's see if we can do it like that. We'll have 2 cracks at it, measure our level of success. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Did it go okay? That's great. So practice that, and we'll see if we can sharpen it up and get it a little tighter next time. Keep practicing Big John McNeill, and we'll see how Big John goes next time. And if it's going pretty good, we might start in on The Trip to Windsor by Daniel MacDonald. Yes.
Just to clarify, this was D major scale?
D
And
major
big
scale, yep, straight up.
Okay.
And the
And-
one
and-
is F.
Okay. And Big John is A major.
A major all the way.
Major all the way. All right.
Yeah, right from one end to the other.
Thank you.
Question. Good question, though. Any other questions there, guys? Yes, Astrid.
Just to clarify what you're doing on the second bar, you're playing a double stop on the third to fourth beat?
Probably.
And okay, and you play it kind of like a half note then. Okay.
Yeah, and the double stop, so the third bar you said?
No, the second.
Oh yeah, it's just an E and an A.
Okay.
So a fifth, basically. It's the note that comes before it. I'm leaving it there. It's what I call lazy bow.
Oh.
Do it all the time. And it gives you a real it gives the real Scotchy flavor. So, see that? So, it's great.
Yeah.
See that? Very, very effective. And that's all it is. It's just I played that note. Now my bow is just going to stay on it. And since my finger's there anyway, there it is. See?
Okay. All right.
All smoke and mirrors, man. That's all it is. It's like a whole lot of music for one move.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next Thursday. Work on that tune.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.